Hello everyone, my name is Martin Linksfeld and welcome to the third lesson of the course. In this lesson, we'll create a free tier MySQL database service with a HeatWave cluster in OCI cloud infrastructure using Terraform module. We will focus on configuring a MySQL instance with in-memory query acceleration to boost the performance of analytical queries, all while utilizing free tier resources. Here's a topology diagram for lesson number 3. As you can see, it's very similar to the previous lesson, right? So we are still in one region. We have VCN and 2 subnets, private and public. We have this Bastion server in a public subnet, and MDS, MySQL Database System, deployed in a private subnet. Besides of the system will enable MySQL HeatWave, which will support the MySQL instance to support queries, analytical queries, as I have mentioned in an introduction slide. So let's now move to our code editor, VS Code. Okay, we are now again in VS Code editor. This is the place where we have just stopped the previous lesson number 2. So let me go to the lesson number 3. This lesson is also visible in our GitHub repository. So this is a repository and the lesson itself. So this is the clone of that lesson. So in this lesson, we will do small thing, right? The small thing is in MDS updated TF file. So let me just make this terminal a little bit smaller. So here we have 3 additional parameters. HeatWave cluster enabled, this flag, which is associated with the new variable visible in an updated variables TF file. So this flag by default is set to false, and in our file we will override it through Terraform TF vars file, which is here updated with additional parameter MDS HeatWave enabled flag turned to true. And it means that on top of MDS instance, we'll have the cluster. We are also defining HeatWave shape, so it will be HeatWave .free, which means it will be still a part of the free tier. And the HeatWave cluster size will be set to just 1, but of course it could be bigger cluster. Probably for production environments, it should be per minimum 2 or 3. But for our testing purposes, we have just one value 1, right? So run, now I will run Terraform init just to prepare the environment for us. And I will run Terraform apply. And within a sec, we should have the plan, right? So what we have here, we have MDS and all the other elements of our configuration. And we have HeatWave cluster, right? Based on free tier HeatWave.free shape. So let me just run it. And after a while, I will be back here and I will show you details. So let me pause the recording now. Looks like Terraform is finished. So it has taken something about 12 minutes for the HeatWave cluster to be created on top of MDS instance which has taken something about 14 minutes. So it looks like we need to be patient here. Let me go directly to the console. So as you can see here, the HeatWave cluster is enabled and status is active. If we scroll down here, we can see this work request section where adding HeatWave cluster was successful. That's great. And then we will go to HeatWave cluster information. As we can see, we are using HeatWave 3 shape. All is active. We have one node, 16 gigabytes. Lakehouse HeatWave is not enabled at the moment. So to be frankly honest with you, I'm not planning to show you any evidence about, query acceleration. This is not my duty. I'm showing you how to do the things with Terraform, but I really want to recommend some blog from Frederick Lafred, who is a champion in a field of MySQL. He's a MySQL evangelist for OCI, and he has a blog which is highlighted here. And for example, here is a document showing how document store in OCI with MySQL HeatWave can be accelerated, right? So in this blog, he is just uploading the documents, JSON documents into the database. And then he is just testing, how this acceleration looks like. And there is a great statement here. So for 2 million documents, he was able to reduce the query output and the time from something about a second and a little bit more to just fraction of seconds, right? So this is an ultimate proof that in case of acceleration, HeatWave is doing a pretty good job. And of course, you can scale it by adding more nodes, and it will be visible on the same umbrella of your MySQL instance. So there is no need to, let's say, create additional resources. And here, everything will be entirely covered and controlled by OCI. So that is generally all what I was planning to show you. So now we need to just destroy the infrastructure. And so let me just run Terraform destroy. And within a second or two, we will have a plan, and all that infrastructure will be wiped out. So let me pause the recording now, and I will be back when the configuration will be cleared out. As you can see, Terraform destroy is finished. 15 resources destroyed. So let us go to the console. As you can see, delete it. Yeah, so it has disappeared, as well as the networking, I guess. Okay, that's it for this lesson. So in this lesson, we have just learned that enabling HeatWave is absolutely easy, nice, and requires us just to do small tricks with the module. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, but it can give us, enormous gain in terms of query acceleration because of this in-memory functionality, and we can scale that through the cluster by just adding more and more nodes if it's necessary, or enlarge the shape, depends on our expectations. And now we will go directly to the next lesson, which is lesson 4, where we will learn how to use this module to deploy persistent layer for most common application in the internet, WordPress CMS, right? So we will be able to build our own website. And what is exciting, we will be able to do that with a free tier, which will be entirely or nearly entirely for free. That's it. I hope it will be interesting. I hope this lesson was interesting. So see you soon in the next lecture.